presented by the all-new 2016 Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Welcome to Fenway Park. The Blue Jays will try to win their 6th straight series with a win here tonight. The two teams have split the first 2 games of this 3-game series. They won it in 10 innings last night. John Gibbons got a good effort from every aspect of his team. Dickey with a good start. The bullpen was terrific. Defense was airtight, and the clutch hitting came through in the 10th inning.
Defense didn't give up a hit. They pitched 4 innings. Cecil, Lowe, Sanchez, and Osuna did not give up a hit. They had 1 walk and 5 strikeouts in those 4 innings of work for John Gibbons' team. Gave the offense a chance, and then they busted through in the 10th inning, didn't they? They used some hits and some walks and some balks and sacrifice fly. Did a little bit of everything to win a very tough game last night.
Scored 4 runs on 3 hits in the 10th inning to win it 5-1. Let's take a look at the lineup for John Gibbons' Blue Jays. Josh Donaldson, big numbers against Joe Kelly. The Red Sox started tonight. 6 for 11 with a pair of RBIs. And then Chris Colabello. He's a Massachusetts native, and he's been swinging a red-hot bat, so he gets the assignment at first base tonight. Colabello had a big RBI single in that 10th inning. Finished up on the night with 2 for 4 and a walk. Colabello swinging a hot bat right now, but they're up against a red-hot pitcher in Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly gets the start tonight. This is his career-high 24th start of the season. You talk about a guy who's red-hot. There are his numbers this year, 9-6 with a .484 earned run average. But he's won 7 straight starts for the Boston Red Sox. It's been 8 years since a Red Sox pitcher won 7 consecutive starts. Last to do it was Josh Beckett, who won his first 7 starts in 2007. Versus the Blue Jays, though, he hasn't had a whole lot of luck. 4 career starts versus the Blue Jays. He's 0-1. He's made 3 of those starts this season and actually spent some time in the minor leagues this year. June the 28th through the July 17th, he was sent down to the minor leagues because he was very ineffective in the rotation. So Joe Kelly comes back, and he has been red hot.
Defensively, boy, there's some speed in the outfield at Fenway tonight. Rusney Castillo is in left, Mookie Betts in center, and Jackie Bradley Jr. is in right. They can all play center field. Sandoval and Bogarts on the left side, Pedroia and Shaw on the right side. And we're taking a look at Ryan Hannigan behind the plate for the first time in this series. He'll catch Joe Kelly tonight.
But the guy at shortstop, I think, has everybody talking around Fenway Park. This is Xander Bogaerts. He leads Major League shortstops in batting average at .317. But more importantly, defensively, here are some of the numbers. He's second in putouts with 206, third in assists with 368, and he's only made 8 errors in 131 games for the Red Sox. They got a good one here, and he's only 22 years old.
Play all season long at 22 years old. Drew Hutchison just returning from the bullpen, getting encouragement from his teammates. Last time he pitched here, he was roughed up. He was matched up against tonight's starter for Boston, Joe Kelly. It has been hot and humid all 3 days here in Boston, and it's still a very hot evening. Ben Revere will step in the box and get things going. Revere scored the first run of the ball game last night. Got hit by a pitch by Henry Owens and came around to score. Kelly is set. Here's the first pitch of the ball game, and Ben Revere takes it outside. We are underway.
Ben Revere did not finish last night's ball game. He was pinched hit for Justin Smoke in the 7th inning. And Smoke sent a drive to left field, and then he was out of the game. Carrera took his spot, but Revere back in there tonight.
It is 24 degrees at the start of this ball game, and Ben Revere has the count in his favor, 2-0. Now 3-0, 3 straight balls for Kelly to start this game. Josh Donaldson had a big triple in the 10th. That broke the tie, came in to score on the Tulowitzki RBI single. There's a strike, first one of the night.
We will keep our eye on that miles per hour. Joe Kelly's got a very good arm. Earlier this year, he was 95, 96, but all over the place. Much better because his fastball, he's taking a little something off of it.
There's a little flare to the left. Castillo is there, 1 down.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Joe Kelly. Tonight's starter for the Boston Red Sox. He's got a good arm. You can see the fastball. He throws it 66% of the time, and it touches 95 miles an hour. Slider, changeup, and curveball he also will throw tonight. But the difference between Joe Kelly we saw earlier this season and Joe Kelly we're seeing lately, who's won 7 in a row, he's not throwing as hard. He's throwing more sliders. He's using the changeup just a little bit more. I guess you could say he's pitching more, changing speeds with that great arm.
This is Josh Donaldson. He goes after that first pitch. We mentioned Donaldson is 6 for 11 against Joe Kelly. This is the 4th start for Kelly against the Blue Jays this season. Last time he started against him was right here at Fenway on June 12th. That was the same matchup we have tonight. Drew Hutchison against Joe Kelly. And that turned into a real Donnybrook. Blue Jays won that one 13-10. Oh, and 2 to Donaldson.
Outside. Saw a start when Joe Kelly pitched against him, when Kelly walked 7 batters earlier this season. I know all about him.
That's his career high in walks. He also has his career high in strikeouts against the Blue Jays. Came in separate starts earlier this season. Donaldson gets a piece of that breaking ball. You're right. Kelly has really slowed things down. His tempo's slower. He's throwing with a little less velocity, but more movement. He's throwing a 2-seamer, and you see the slow breaking ball. He's mixing in a little bit more.
I think that is the pitching coach, Carl Willis. That's his input for Joe Kelly. Remember when the Blue Jays saw Kelly earlier, they had a different pitching coach.
Rodney Evis was the pitching coach at that time.
And now it's Carl Willis. And Carl Willis, if you know anything about him, he likes to change speeds and use that breaking ball and use that changeup.
Donaldson takes a close one. Everything down and away, and that's the pattern you're going to see here with the big right-handed hitters. The lefty Henry Owens pitched him inside very effectively, but I think the righties are going to try to stay away from him. Well, that was rifled into the seats right behind the on-deck circle.
You know, there's no question that Henry Owens was going to pitch the Blue Jay big batters inside, and that's exactly what they did. Fastball's in, and now it looks like Kelly with his fastball, he's going to go away.
You can see Josh Donaldson, he's concerned about a fan. That ball bounced in there very sharply, and he and Hannigan, the catcher, both stepped out to give the attendants an opportunity to come down and help that fan. Pulled foul in front of the Blue Jays dugout. Boy, I tell you what, you have to pay attention. Bouncing balls here will bounce into the seats. Line drives, of course, are going to rocket into the seats. And these stands are not very far from home plate.
Yeah, you're so close here. Wasn't there a problem with Brett Laurie bat helicoptering into the stands here earlier this season? You got to pay attention. You're so close here.
Donaldson rips it down the left field line. That is a fair ball. Down into the corner. Donaldson's heading for second. Here's the throw. They got a shot at him, and they're going to tag him out. Dustin Pedroia tagged him out. The umpire at second. Manny Gonzalez called Donaldson for going out of the baseline. It'll be a single and an assist for Castillo in left. That's his 5th outfield assist this season.
You know, that's the thing about this ballpark. It's so short down that left field line, and Castillo did a good job of getting over there. First the pitch, it's another breaking ball, and Donaldson rips it on a line to left field. He hit it so hard, and watch how it just bounces right back. Castillo does a good job of catching and releasing accurately to second base, and Donaldson is going to be tagged out.
2 outs now for Jose Bautista.
Yeah, I think Josh thought this was going to be a double, and it normally is when it's down the line. And now you're running hard. You can see he's running hard, picks up the ball. Now he's out in the no man's land. He's like, you know what? I'm too far to go back. I better just go on into second base and hope for a bad throw.
Castillo did a good job and got a nice bounce. He got a friendly bounce for sure. There's no telling where that ball is going to go once it gets down into that corner. Bautista behind 1-2. Jose has 21 home runs here at Fenway Park. Since 2008, that's 9 more than any active player homering here at Fenway. And he went around. Kelly elevated that fastball at 98. Blue Jays get a single, but that left field corner creates problems. That ball can bounce anywhere, and unfortunately it bounced right to Castillo. Donaldson had a single, so let's take a look at the Red Sox lineup for Torey Lovullo, the acting manager. Mookie Betts right at the top of the order. He had good numbers against Hutchinson in his career. He's 5 for 9 with 3 extra base hits. And down in the number 9 spot, Jackie Bradley Jr. He's hit nearly 400 this season here at home at Fenway Park, and that's a tough combination. 9-1, 2 young hitters that are really putting together strong finishes to this season.
It's going to be a challenge for Drew Hutchison. His team has been swinging the bat really well. Hutch gets ready to make his 27th start of the season and the first on the road since July the 25th. He's 1-0 in 3 starts versus the Red Sox this season. Last time out, he lost his 3rd game, just 5 innings. Gave up 6 earned runs to Baltimore. It's his first home loss since May the 20th.
That was the first pitch strike to Mookie Betts. Betts is an aggressive swinger. He really goes up there hacking. He's got a 14-game hit streak. It's the longest active hit streak in the majors, and that's a new career high for Betts. He also has hit 16 straight against the Blue Jays.
55 extra base hits now for Mookie Betts. 55. You know, you look at him and the stature and you say, well, this guy is not an extra base hitting type of player, but he's got quick hands and he can drill the ball all over the ballpark.
Reaches for that outside pitch. There are only 3 Red Sox that have ever had longer hit streaks against the Blue Jays than Mookie Betts. Jerry Remy, who is their color analyst now, had a 24-game hit streak. Wade Bogg, the Hall of Famer, had a 20-game hit streak. And Rick Burleson, their fine shortstop, hit in 18 straight against the Jays. Colabello over near the seats. He'll get there, but it's beyond his reach. Into that camera well. The last major leaguer to have a longer hit streak against the Blue Jays than Mookie Betts and his 16-gamer, Adam Jones, or wouldn't you know it to be Adam Jones? He wears out the Blue Jays. He had a 17-game hit streak between 2012 and 2013. Mookie Betts strikes out on a high fastball. Well, the defense of the Blue Jays has been terrific, and last night it was on display once again. They made some fine defensive plays to keep it a 1-1 game and win it in extra innings. Revere, Pilar, and Bautista in the outfield. Donaldson's at third base. Troy Tulowitzki, he has been a rock-solid defender in the middle of the diamond. Ryan Goins back in second. Chris Colabello at first, and Russell Martin behind the plate.
Chris Colabello gets to start tonight at first base. John Gibbons wanted to get another right-handed bat in this lineup in this ballpark. Colabello has come up with a lot of big base hits for the Blue Jays this year. It's a hometown type of thing, atmosphere. John Gibbons thinks he's going to have a big game here tonight, so they wanted to keep him in the lineup.
Colabello had a 2-hit game last night. We talked about his RBI single in the 10th that contributed to that 4-run 10th inning. This is Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia back after a long stint on the disabled list. He's been battling a hamstring injury. Right in last night's game. He was lifted after 9 innings, and he was reluctant to come out of the game, but they were looking after his well-being, figuring a full 9 innings was a good test for the first game back.
Love this guy right here. He comes to play. I don't care what the score is, where you are in the standings. This guy comes to play every single day. He was telling reporters before the game yesterday, hey, we still have a shot at making the playoffs this year. They weren't talking about next year. They're talking about this year.
He never gives up. I sat and talked to him today and had a long conversation with him and talked to him about his attitude, his mindset. He said, every time I've ever played, from the moment I was a kid playing Little League to yesterday, he said, I play to win every single game. And you got to love that attitude. And of course, given his stature, he had to prove himself at every level.
Sure. Even when he was drafted into pro baseball, he had to prove himself. And boy, has he ever proved himself. And that's what he was basically the gist of what he was saying. Hey, if we win every game from here on out, we got a chance to get into the playoffs. I love that attitude.
So do managers. It really makes their job easy when your star players have that kind of mentality, because the rest of the team has to get in step with him. Troy Lovello loves the leadership that he gets from Dustin Pedroia. And Pedroia is one of those guys, yeah, he'll lead by example, but he'll also get in your face.
Sure he will. And it makes it so much easier on the manager when your best player is like that.
This is popped up. Donaldson over near the dugout, but it's well back out of play.
Yeah, I remember playing in Kansas City with George Brett, and George Brett was like that. Every day it was like the 7th game of the World Series. And if George is playing hard and running hard to first base on a ground ball to the second baseman, you don't tell me I can't run hard to second base or to first base on a ground ball to the second baseman. You play the game the right way every day.
2 balls and 2 strikes to the former MVP. Hanging tough. This is going to reach the seats. Well, what do you think it does for the young Red Sox player? Mookie Betts is 22. Bogarts is 22. Swihart's 23. Bradley's 25. When they say Dustin Pedroia, who is Rookie of the Year and MVP and has 2 World Series rings, playing like this every single day when the Red Sox are in last place, you got to think that they're going to take something away from that. Another 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. Donaldson will get out of the way of Tulowitzki. 2 down. That'll bring Xander Bogaerts to the plate. He is hitting 3rd in this lineup. When we talk about the future of the Red Sox, it's in pretty good hands.
You can tell why so many other teams wanted these players in trades, and the Red Sox said, no, we are not going to give up some of these players. Bats, Bogarts 22, Swihart 23. Jackie Bradley is finally coming into his own at 25 years old. Just 22 years old. Those first 2 guys should be seniors in college. And here they are dominating, and I mean really playing well at the big league level.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams in American League that wish they were seniors in college. Xander Bogaerts is from Aruba. And he's a very bright young man. He speaks 4 different languages, and he's hitting third in the Red Sox lineup. And it's not a courtesy. He has earned the right to hit third in this lineup.
3 years from now, they'll have 4 years in the big leagues, and they'll be 25. 25 years old, just heading into their prime physically. And yeah, he's 22 years old, but he also leads the Sox with 46 multi-hit games this year.
Henry Owens in the middle of your picture there was the starter last night. And yeah, the Red Sox, they need some help. They need some starting pitching. There's no question about that. Dave Dombrowski, the president, will come in here and try to address that issue. But I think first and foremost, you put good players on the field, and especially defensive players, and there's Dombrowski. You got center fielder, right fielder that are both center fielders. You got a shortstop, and you got a young catcher. Grizzly Castillo is only 27 years old, and he's a rookie.
But he's got a lot of talent, too. We saw that on top of the first inning. How about Hanley Ramirez? We haven't even mentioned him. He's on the disabled list right now. There's another hitter.
Bogaerts covers that outside pitch. Drew Hutchison struck out Mookie Betts and got Pedroia to ground out. Hutch needs a good start. It's been a tough road on the road for him. Fly ball to center. Pilar's got plenty of room out there in no man's land, and he makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down. Good start to the ball game. A scoreless inning after 1.
All-Star break. Some of these numbers for Edwin Encarnacion. Yeah, he's a slugger, but he's also hitting .336. That's his batting average. His on-base percentage of .428. That leads us to this on-base plus slugging of 1.112. Yeah, he's got all the home runs and the RBIs, and he's a big run producer. But that batting average now is up to .267. It was .220, .230 for the longest time, but he's been in this great hot streak. And he's got a huge fan over in that Red Sox dugout.
Torey Lovullo believes that Encarnacion is the best hitter among all these great hitters in the Blue Jays lineup.
And he knows them, having spent a couple of years here with the Blue Jays as one of their coaches and seeing a lot of the young guys in the minor leagues when Torey was a manager in the minors. He told me today, he said, hey, Edwin is their best hitter, period. End of story. And that has to do with setting the pitcher up, sitting on certain pitches, hitting the ball to all fields, and then producing.
It's an inside strike. It's 0-2. That's high praise when you consider the great lineup the Blue Jays have. But Brooke Jacoby has the same thoughts about Encarnacion. He believes that if he chooses to, he could become a manager. He has that kind of understanding of the game.
You know what? You can't do it on talent alone. You have to be smart, right? You have to take that next step. If it's watching film, if it's understanding your swing, knowing situations, you got to have the talent, you have to have the will, but you have to be smart too.
That's popped into shallow right. Jackie Bradley Jr. is a former center fielder that can really cover a lot of ground. One down.
Swing for the fences and save during the DIY expert sale. Only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center.
Troy Tulowitzki with a game-winning RBI last night in the 10th inning. He drove home Josh Donaldson with a single to left field. He swung the bat well in this series. He was 2 for 4 in the game last night. In the opener of this series on Monday afternoon, he lined out twice. Hit the ball right on the nose.
You could just see him starting to come around, I think, when the Blue Jays were at home. Ball's coming off of his bat just a little bit better, a little bit more consistent hard contact. Yeah, he's right where he needs to be right there in an RBI situation right now. The way Ben Rivera has taken over that leadoff spot, getting on base, stealing bases. Now you can drop Tulowitzki down in an RBI spot, and he came up with a big one last night.
Joe Kelly won 6 games in August. And he's the first Red Sox pitcher to win 6 games in August since Pedro Martinez did it in May of 1999. 6 games in a month. Tulowitzki hits it hard, but right to Pedroia on a couple of hops. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie. I'm sure he's got his eye on New York. How about those seasoned veterans coming through for the Yankees down the stretch? Beltran, of course, beat the Blue Jays with a pinch hit 3-run home run. Brian McCann's having a great second year in New York. And Alex Rodriguez, a 30 home run season to tie Hank Aaron for the most 30 home run seasons in a career.
15 30 home run seasons now. Tell you what, partner, I didn't see that one coming. Early in the year from that guy.
Yeah, we were talking on the field. Josh Donaldson, Dennis Eckersley, and I, Joe Siddle, were talking about Alex Rodriguez, and no one agreed. No one thought that that would be a possibility. He came out of nowhere with that one. He had 2 hits in that game as well, and that moves him past Ricky Henderson to 22nd on the all-time hits list. David Price will open up against the Yankees tomorrow, and that kid with the big smile on his face, he's going to pitch Saturday. And he's happy about it. Marcus Stroman, of course, will make his season debut Saturday against the Yanks. This is Chris Colabello.
And I like where he's perched right there in the dugout, right on the shoulder of David Price. And just stay right there. And you guys can talk shop all you want about this game.
Right on the corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top half of the second inning.
Well, the first thing you notice about Joe Kelly, you can see why he has won 7 straight games, how he is changing speeds. Before, everything was maximum effort, everything was the same speed, hard fastball, hard breaking ball. Now he's just taking a little something off and controlling himself, making good pitches.
And then he's got a little extra in the tank when he needs it.
Yes.
At 98. You get that wide gap between velocities. You throw a two-seamer at 92, and then you can hump it up across the seam. Carl Willis has to be pleased with what he has seen from Joe Kelly since he's rejoined the Red Sox. Full count to Colabello. You saw Martin on deck. Kelly upstairs with the heater. 2 strikeouts so far for Joe Kelly. Will lead things off for the Red Sox, and Patty's having another terrific season at the plate.
Yeah, I don't care how he starts. He always seems to finish with 30 home runs and 100 RBIs. And these are the home runs in the strike zones this season. Everything clustered in the middle right there. Belt high in the middle of the plate. And you see all kind of different colors. Fastball, changeup, slider, the cutter, and the knuckleball. He's in one of those hot streaks again. He's homered 5 times in his last 11 games. So you got to decide, okay, are we going to jam him and try and pitch him inside with hard stuff, or are we going to go up and away? I mean, there's some decisions that you're going to have to make. The main thing is you got to keep the ball out of the middle of the strike zone. He is in one of those grooves right now.
2 for 7 in the series so far with a pair of doubles that came on Monday afternoon. Both those doubles off of Mark Burley. That's a hang with him. David Ortiz hit it sharply, but right to Colabello. He didn't have to move. Get back to dugout, and all your teammates said, man, you really hit it good. And he says, get away from me.
Yeah, that doesn't feel very good. You line a ball like that, that's an Adam ball. Right at him. The first baseman, Colabello, doesn't hardly have to move. You know what you have to keep telling yourself after those? I am owed a blooper or a chinker or a...
I don't think he's thinking that right now.
That's what I'd be telling myself.
He's thinking, get that guy out of there. This is Travis Shaw. Shaw hit a home run in the second yesterday off R.A. Dickey. Dickey tried to sneak a fastball by him, and it didn't work. Dickey had a good game plan. He felt like the Red Sox were going to be patient. Shaw didn't get the memo. That's with a good changeup.
Yeah, he thought he was going to slip one of those fastballs by him for an early strike, and Travis was waiting for him. Kind of a good-looking swing. I think he's going to hit in the major leagues.
What makes you think that?
Well, he's got a flat swing. You can see how compact he is. That shoulder stays in there a long time. He uses the whole field. It's bigger than I thought. He's 6'4", 225. And he's not just a first baseman. He can play third base if they need him to.
Three and two now with 1 out. Travis Shaw's father, Jeff Shaw, longtime pitcher. He was originally a first-round draft pick. The father, Jeff, 1986 by the Cleveland Indians. That's a pretty good pitch, but outside, a one-out walk here issued by Drew Hutchison. Walks will bite you here in Fenway Park, especially because you put those extra base runners on, somebody runs into one, hits it off the green monster, and all of a sudden it's a merry-go-round.
Yeah, and that's what was so impressive, I thought, about the Blue Jays in last night's ball game, especially the bullpen. They only walked one batter in 4 innings. Didn't give up a hit.
This is Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval has hit well against Hutchison, 5 for 7. You got to come up with a new game plan. You see, Sandoval, he's not concerned about pulling the baseball here in this ballpark. That left field green monster is so inviting to left-handed hitters, and he'll stay back and play ping pong off that green monster.
How many times in all the years that you have come to this ballpark where you have seen left-handed hitters do exactly that? They just wait a little bit longer and then just fire that barrel at the ball. And the next thing you know, it's off the green monster in left field.
We were talking with Chili Davis, the Red Sox hitting coach, about that today. And Mike Easler's name came up. And he was a guy that really hit well in this ballpark, a left-handed hitter. And then, of course, Mo Vaughn was another guy, Mike Greenwell. Rich Gedman, a left-handed hitting catcher that hit very well. And then Hall of Famer Wade Boggs. Hutchison let that one get away. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's just our generation of players that we have seen. I mean, you can go all the way back to Ted Williams and Carl Yastrzemski and some of the other great left-handed hitters that have played for the Red Sox here. Fred Lynn, I remember watching him back in the 70s where he could really tattoo that wall.
Yeah, his first season, 1975, he came up and really took advantage of this ballpark. Sandoval might have chased the ball. Everything has been away to Sandoval in this at bat. I think they're going to have to mix it up a little bit, make him aware of that inside corner. Shaw at first with the 1-out walk.
Yeah, if he had that little comeback fastball where you could freeze him, I think that would be the pitcher of choice here.
Last time Hutchison pitched in this ballpark, he went 2 1/3, was charged with 8 earned runs. Trying to erase the memory of that start. Still, everything is away, and you can see Sandoval can just lean out over that plate. Now Russell Martin, he's going to have to retrieve that foul ball. Donaldson's out to the mound as well. I have a little chat with Hutchison here. Now here comes Martin, the catcher.
What do you want to do to try and finish this guy off right here? Do you feel confident in a breaking ball? You think you could throw one right now? You think you could lock him up with a fastball in the inner half? I mean, those are the things that they're talking about right there.
They have shown Sandoval a lot of pitches in the same area. And that gives him a pretty good reference point. Now you got to mix it up a little.
And the same speed. Everything has been the same speed to Sandoval. We might see something a little bit different this time.
Coming in. Well, they get it in there, but he fights it off. This is where you need that strike the ball, breaking ball. Start it off inside corner and let it break down and in. This is the beauty of catching right here. You have to think on the fly. There it is. That breaking ball down and in. Russell Martin doing a good job of getting to that put-away pitch.
Boy, when you show a hitter a ball away, all at the same speed, and then you change up on him, throw him a breaking ball in a different spot. I mean, look how far he missed that ball. He was thinking fastball one more time, and Hutchison and Russell Martin trick him and throw him the breaking ball and gets a big strikeout.
Rusney Castillo, the left fielder. Well, that's what I mean about reading the bats. And Russell Martin, he's right there front and center. He's got an idea that Sandoval's leaning out over that plate looking for that fastball, and made a timely call with that slider. Another shot into the seats. Castillo entered the game last night in the 9th inning after Ortiz walked, but he was thrown out by Russell Martin, one of the pivotal defensive plays by the Blue Jays in that game. He gunned him down on a terrific throw, and Martin didn't come into the game until the 7th inning as a pinch hitter. This at bat already screams for that breaking ball.
Well, yeah, watching him, the way he's swinging on that fastball, this is a breaking ball right here. You don't even have to throw it for a strike.
It's got to be out of the zone. I wouldn't throw him a strike with it because you'd speed his bat up. But start it out on the plate. You see Martin wants it down. Throw it in the dirt. He laid off.
He looked like he tried to swing at it, didn't he? Just a little bit closer, and you would have had him. 20 pitches in the first inning, 20 more here in the second inning.
Fly ball. Bautista has plenty of room out there, and right now he comes in a few steps, and Hutchison is through 2 innings. The Red Sox leave a base runner.
To Toronto for a cortisone shot, or as what he liked to refer to it as, getting his bearings looped. He can joke about it, but he is very frustrated at what has happened so far, and he's more frustrated with the fact that time is catching up with him right now. He says that he's always been that guy that's been reliable, that can be taking the ball every 5th day, and now that's not necessarily going to happen. He does say, though, that whenever John Gibbons gives him the ball, he will take it and do whatever he has to do. Yes, 200 innings is still a very big goal for him, but he said he would trade that in for a World Series ring in a heartbeat. It must be tough for an aging player to get to that point where your body just can't do what your mind wants it to do anymore.
Absolutely, and for Mark Buehrle, who has been so consistent in his ability to take the ball and go to the mound, it is a little disappointing, but it's the reality, and he understands that. Everybody's barking this time of the year. Guys get cortisone shots. Brett Gardner, he ran into the wall at Yankee Stadium on Saturday and bruised up his shoulder. He took a cortisone shot. He's supposed to play tonight, but everybody gets dinged up now. Gardner is not in the lineup tonight, so he's still out of there. I mean, just think about Russell Martin. I mean, you probably don't even want to know what he's had to do to get in the lineup. He took those 2 shots off his collarbone the other day here.
All the foul balls and the hands catching the ball all season long. How about the legs? He's had some minor leg problems, but he just keeps playing through it.
You know, you get into your off-season program trying to figure out what's best for the long haul. And I think there have been a lot of different approaches over the years. We have seen different types of workouts, weights and running, aerobics, all sorts of different things over the years. Martin is called out. He didn't like the previous call, and this time Paul Schreiber rings him up on the pitch down and away. That's 3 strikeouts for Joe Kelly. The first one looking.
An absolute perfect fastball. The 4-seamer right there. Hannigan does a good job of framing that one up to get the call. I'm not happy about that, but it looked like a strike, like it was right there.
Ryan Goins. Goins did not play in the game last night. He was at second base to open this series on Monday afternoon. Finished up 0 for 3, grounded into a double play. Kelly's a different pitcher than the Blue Jays faced earlier in the season.
Well, he's throwing strikes now with all of his pitches, and he's pitching, quote, pitching, instead of just out there just heaving that ball in there at 97, 98 miles an hour. That's a couple of curveballs that he has thrown to Goins the first 2 pitches of this at bat to jump ahead.
Kelly came to the Red Sox along with Alan Craig last July. That trade deadline period, in a trade that sent John Lackey, the right-handed pitcher, to the Cardinals. Joe Kelly pitched in 4 postseason games. There's Alan Craig. He spent most of the season in AAA Pawtucket. But Kelly pitched in the postseason for the Cardinals in 2013, made 4 starts for them. And then the adjustment coming over to the American League, a little more challenging. And it's not unusual. We have seen it. We saw it firsthand with Josh Beckett right here with the Red Sox. He was a star in the National League. It took him a year to make the adjustment. There's a drive to right. Jackie Bradley Jr. breaks back a couple of steps.
But you know, we always kept saying, how is this guy struggling so much? You just watch the stuff coming out of his hand. But now, lately, everything has been working for him. He's been using the breaking ball just a little bit more. These are his starts this season. The first 17, 3-6 with an ERA of 6 when you throw 98 miles an hour. They were hitting 287. Now he has been perfect over those last 7 starts. He's mixing in the breaking ball a little bit more, the slider, changeup. And watching him here through the first 3 innings, I see that he's trusting himself, that he doesn't have to throw 98 miles an hour to get guys out.
Yeah, and he is truly very patient in his delivery. You can see he's pitching with a lot of confidence right now. Number 9 hitter is Kevin Pillar. He waves at that breaking ball.
You know, a lot like Rick Porcello, who we saw the first pitcher in this series. Porcello had an awful first half. And you say, how does this guy lose with the kind of stuff he has? Now he's using that sinker now a little bit more. He's using his breaking ball and his changeup. I mean, I think they both have learned a little something from Carl Willis since he has taken over here as the pitching coach.
There's the line for Porcello in his game on Monday afternoon. 3 earned runs over 7 1/3. Kevin Pillar's had a good season against Boston. 23 hits in 15 games, a .383 average for Pillar. The 23 hits are the most this season against Boston by one hitter. He and Josh Donaldson are first and second in that category.
Maybe he's that forgotten guy in that lineup for the Blue Jays. I mean, you got to work so hard to get through Donaldson and Bautista, Encarnacion. You get down to Pillar and say, okay, here's a fastball, and Kevin has been hitting him.
Pedroia racing back. He'll get there in shallow right. Pillar's retired. Porcello pitched well on Monday. Now Joe Kelly's doing the same.
Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Scoreless ball game as we head to the bottom of the third. These two teams were tied through 9 innings, 1-1, and Blue Jays broke out in the 10th to win it, fueled by a 4-run 10th inning. They won it 5-1. This is the catcher Ryan Hannigan, batting 8th in the Red Sox order. Hannigan's done a good job catching Joe Kelly. He's become kind of his personal catcher for him, and he's really got him in a pretty good rep right now. Hannigan is a veteran that came over here, and they thought initially he was going to do the majority of the catching, and then they had Vasquez come up last year. He got hurt in spring training, underwent Tommy John surgery, and then Blake Swihart has developed. Vasquez told me he is going to the Instructional League tomorrow to serve as a DH.
Yeah, he told me he's throwing right now. I said, have you cut it loose? And he said, yes. He's going to go to the Instructional League to DH, and then he's going to go to play winter ball, and he's going to DH. He's not going to catch again and throw until next spring.
Plays winter ball in Puerto Rico, his native country. You saw Koji Uehara standing next to him. He's done for the season as well. Got a broken wrist. The Red Sox don't have a hit yet. They've taken some pretty good pitches away, both lefties and righties. And you can bet Russell Martin's trying to figure out how to diffuse that.
Yeah, and stop them from hitting so many foul balls. There's not been a lot of swing and misses tonight by the Red Sox. Fouling off some tough pitches and really elevating that pitch count early tonight.
Hutchison up to 46 with no outs in the third. Chili Davis, the veteran hitting coach. He was a switch hitter, and he's become a terrific hitting coach in his first season here in Boston. He was talking about hitting in this ballpark. He said, I think my stroke was tailor-made to hit in this ballpark. Certainly wasn't a pull hitter.
Switch hitter, hit with power. He had some speed when he was a young player, too.
Full count. Red Sox really working over Hutchison, making him throw a lot of pitches early in this game. Jackie Bradley Jr. will bat next. A leadoff walk here in the third. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Beltran has driven in all 3 runs. He's hitting .280 for the season. He really jumped up his batting average lately.
How about the big hits he had back at Rogers Center against the Blue Jays? He's having a great second half.
As is this man, Jackie Bradley Jr. And Hutchison drops a breaking ball in there for a strike. Jackie Bradley Jr. here at Fenway Park this season, a .392 average with 19 extra base hits. He's turned his fortunes around dramatically.
They finally figured him out yesterday as they snapped his 8-game hit streak. We were talking about Chili Davis, and I asked him the other day, I said, Chili, what have you done with Jackie Bradley Jr.? And he said, you know, simply hit like you did when you were in college. Last year he had the toe tap, he had a 2-part swing. In college he just stayed back like he is now. He's got a little bit of a leg kick and he's swinging hard, making some loud outs.
He's a terrific defender. I don't think you could separate Betts and Bradley Jr. as defensive outfielders. They're both very good. Great speed, good reads. But the bat has really started to come around for Jackie Bradley Jr.
Hitting the ball the other way with authority now.
That was an interesting reaction from the home plate umpire, Paul Schreiber. It looked like he was going to call it a strike, thought about it, then asked Jim Reynolds down at third what he thought. He said, no, I don't think he swung. It's 2-2. Short hop, Goins flips to Tulowitzki. What a reactionary play. Goins took the short hop and never ever hesitated. Just flipped it right to Tulowitzki, who is ready to take his throw near second.
We have seen some outstanding defense in this series alone by the Blue Jays. Watch Ryan Goins at second base. Pick and flip right there, all in one motion to get Jackie Bradley coming down that first base line. These two together have been fun to watch. Tulowitzki and Goins, when they were in the game together, that was pretty.
Generally, you might see a second baseman take that short hop and take his time, said, okay, I got plenty of time, but he knew Bradley runs well. He flipped immediately to second. So that erases the leadoff walk. Top of the order, Mookie Betts struck out his first time up. Three 3-0 after the double play.
He's rushing. First inning, he had a 1-2-3 inning. He was taking his time. He had a little bit of a pause when he was over that rubber just a little bit. There you go. That's how you do it. Now he's gotten 2 outs and he was trying to rush, trying to get there a little bit too quickly and missed 3 straight times.
High and deep to left. Revere is going to watch it go off the top of the wall. It's in play. Pilar plays it to third. Mookie Betts with a 2-out double.
Well,
35th double.
They're probably going to want to take a look at this one. It looked a lot like Josh Donaldson's ball that we saw yesterday. Somehow that thing bounced back very quickly. Torey Lovullo is going to come out and he wants to talk about this one. High and deep to left field. It's got to clear the wall. There's a line out there. It's got to clear it. That's a home run.
Yeah, that's a home run for sure. Anytime it's on top of that flat portion above the green monster, there is a lip behind it. That flat top of the green monster is about a foot wide, and then there's a little lip behind it. The ball Donaldson hit last night hit right on the edge without reaching the top of the green monster, came back into play. This will be a home run.
Yeah, that one cleared it, and then it ricocheted off that back wall and out. He's going to be awarded a home run here. And this is why the system was put into play right here. This is why it was put in, so they would get these calls right. And the fans are watching the replay here on the Jumbotron, and they see that this is going to be a home run.
Yeah, Mookie Betts, he knows it as well.
Should be a quick verdict. It should be with the umpires. Yeah, it is.
So the call on the field is overturned. Mookie Betts hits his 14th home run of the season. It comes with 2 outs. And the Red Sox have a 1-0 lead.
Told you that he has got some extra base pop in that bat. Just when you think you can get the ball by him, he is very quick and gets that bat head out quickly. 55, now 56 extra base hits, the most by a Red Sox player in the season before turning 23. Jim Rice had 55 in 1975 when he was 22. Now Mookie Betts has 56 before he turned 23.
Dustin Pedroia takes one outside. Pedroia grounded out to short his first time up. Mookie Betts, 22 years old, and he's become a very popular player here at Fenway Park. Pedroia fouls it out of play. Pedroia started yesterday after missing 42 games with that hamstring injury. He came back too soon from the initial injury and had to go right back on the DL.
Yeah, initially he missed 16, and I think he tried to play like 6 games and then went back on the DL.
There's a base hit for Pedroia. A 2-strike base hit to left. This season, it's been totally opposite home and road for Drew Hutchison. He's had an impressive run at Rogers Center, but it's been a forgettable stretch of games on the road.
You can see the road ERA at 9 and the opponent's batting average at 372, the highest in the big leagues this year. That road ERA climbed tonight after his last start on the road, which was July the 25th. That was at Seattle. Trying to figure that out right now. He's allowed 10 home runs on the road. He hasn't pitched poorly this inning. He's given up his share of a couple hits.
And he fell behind Mookie Betts after getting the double play, and I think that was the turning point of this inning. He got a double play off the bat of Jackie Bradley Jr. and then threw 3 straight balls to Mookie Betts.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to rush to try and get it done, and then fell behind and had to come into him. And that little visit there by Pete Walker, I think, was just to slow things down.
Line drive, and Bautista will play it on the hop. Pedroia stops at second. Bogarts singles to right. 3 straight 2-out hits for Boston.
Bogarts is a good hitter at just 22 years old. Told you about his stats. 46 multi-hit games this year. He leads Major League shortstops in average at .317, pitched down and away, and that's why he's becoming a good hitter. He's not trying to pull that ball. That ball is down and away. That's Ryan Tepera, who is up now. He's got 165 hits now.
Now you're dealing with David Ortiz and a couple aboard, all happening with 2 outs and nobody on. One nothing Boston.
Pretty good pitch right there. You can see Russell Martin has something to say to the home plate umpire after that one. Looked like it was right on the inside corner.
Drive to center. Pilar at the wall. This one is gone. 498 for David Ortiz.
Like he was sitting on a fastball, and he got a fastball that was up, and he turned on it. This is the deepest part of this ballpark. It's 420 to that little triangle out in right center field, and Ortiz cleared it.
His 201st home run here at Fenway Park. He's too shy of 500 for his career.
That is a long way out there. And it looks like he got it into the second or third row.
Travis Shaw falls behind 0-2. This 4-run inning all started with 2 outs and nobody on. And Shaw strikes out on 3 pitches. But the damage is done. Boston puts up a 4 spot in their half of the third. We'll go to the 4th. 2 home runs in the 3rd. A 3-run shot by David Ortiz, his 32nd of the season, career .498.
of curling is back. 60 of the best men's and women's teams do battle at the Tour Challenge, and it all begins Thursday right here on Sportsnet. Buck?
Summer is winding down indeed. We are in September. Blue Jays have a 1.5 game lead over the New York Yankees in the AL East, but they trail Boston 4-0 as they're set to bat in the fourth. They got to figure out Joe Kelly. This is a different Joe Kelly than they have faced in the past. Kelly is making his fourth start of the season against the Blue Jays. He's 0-1 with a .764 earned run average in those previous 3 starts.
Yeah, that's this year. For his career at .675. But you're right, this is a different pitcher. Changing those speeds, throwing strikes with all his pitches. He's not overthrowing at all. I haven't seen him overthrow one pitch tonight.
That changeup got away from him. The Blue Jays have a hit. Joe Kelly may have hurt himself. He did this in his last start against Philadelphia. He felt something inside on his pec muscle, and I don't know that he's going to continue here. Brian Hannigan is out to talk to him. He had this similar type of reaction in his last game against Philadelphia. It was up on his pec muscle, and you could see he shook off his infielder. Pedroia wanted to come into the mound. But if he is injured, he's got to say something.
.82, watch him. Looked like a changeup. That got away from him, and then watch the reaction afterwards and watch him shake it out and kind of feel that shoulder.
Base hit. Ben Revere pulls one through the hole on the right side. A leadoff single here in the fourth.
You're right. If he is hurting, he needs to say something. Torey Lovullo's up on that top step right now.
Yeah, I watched his last start against the Phillies, and he had a similar reaction. He threw a pitch and then grabbed the inside of basically his armpit, and kind of moved the arm around a little bit, and he stayed in the game, but that was a similar reaction that I saw in that at bat to Revere. Josh Donaldson singled off the wall in left, was thrown out at second. Joe Kelly picked off Cesar Hernandez of the Phillies in his last start. He's got a quick move to first.
No need to run right now. You're down 4 runs. You got the big boys coming up. You got yourself a one-way lead right now over there at first base.
Kelly gets ahead of Donaldson. Josh was thrown out at second by Rusney Castillo, the left fielder. Made a terrific play down in the corner. Played the ball off the wall and threw a strike to second to nail Donaldson. This is popped up into center. Mookie Betts is there. Donaldson's retired. 1 down. We mentioned that Joe Kelly and Drew Hutchison matched up right here at Fenway on June 12th. And the Red Sox staked Kelly to an 8-1 lead after 3 innings. And the Blue Jays stormed back. The Jays scored 9 runs in the 7th to win that ball game 13-10. So don't turn your TV off just yet.
No, 4-0 in the 3rd inning. After 3 innings, now we're in the 4th. That's nothing. These two teams are going to go at it, I think, all night long. I remember that game, that 13-9 game. There was a lot of panic in Boston after that one.
Yeah, that was a tough deficit. And a lot of the players on the Blue Jays look at that 9-run 7th inning and say that's where we figured we had a pretty good team. We felt like if we could come back and win that game, we can score anywhere against anyone. Kelly doesn't seem to be bothered by whatever messed with him for a moment in that Revere at bat. Doesn't seem to have any ill effects. Well, he's a pretty good athlete. You can see how much rhythm and timing he has in his delivery, and he's quick to first. He unloads that ball quick to home.
He's not a real big guy, but he's got a nice loose arm, doesn't he? I remember seeing him for the first time and seeing how that radar gun was getting lit up, 97, 98 miles an hour.
Top of the zone at 96. I'm not sure that the Red Sox are sold on Joe Kelly as a starter. I think he profiles, his stuff is that of a closer. I think when you look at a guy, and Sanchez was that situation with the Blue Jays, everybody said, well, you know, he looks like he might be a closer, but I don't see the depth in breaking balls with Kelly as we saw with Sanchez when he was starting. And I still think Sanchez is going to be a very good starter. Put him back in the rotation.
He looks like a starter. He's got the physical body to be a starter.
Bautista walks with 1 out.
Kelly as a closer, great arm, good breaking ball. I think as a closer, you can just go hard for 1 inning and just, instead of throwing 4 pitches, you can just throw 2 pitches and just blow it by the guys for an inning or so.
Well, and I think, too, we don't know Joe Kelly. I don't know Joe Kelly, what his temperament's like, whether or not he would like that burden of being a closer. I mean, we have seen some great pitchers in the past. They could pitch lights out, 6th, 7th, even the 8th inning. But you put him in the 9th inning, it's a different animal.
Yeah, something happens to him. Don't know anything about Joe. He looks like he could do it. Right, the way he's throwing now, why would they mess with that?
Yeah.
The way he's throwing as a starter, it's giving him a lot of quality innings.
Well, the Blue Jays got a chance to get right back in this ballgame very quickly. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Edwin Encarnacion has reached base in 38 straight games. Blue Jays in this series to this point have hit into 6 double plays. And that really hurt them in the opener on Monday afternoon. And it certainly kept them in check in last night's game. They had a double play in the 5th and hit into a double play in the 6th.
Josh Donaldson was talking about that after the ball game last night, that the Blue Jays, they kept hitting a lot of balls right at people. A lot of line drives with guys on base. They left a bunch of runners on early. He said, but this team just keeps fighting, and they feel like they're never out of a game, and they're just going to keep battling you. Pretty soon they're going to start falling, and it did for him last night.
Oh, 1-1. Kelly has really slowed down his tempo here. Encarnacion checks his swing, and they appeal down to Fielding Colbert, the first base umpire, and he says no swing. It's a ball of a strike. But Kelly was working very quickly in the first 3 innings, and all of a sudden, with a couple aboard, he has really slowed things down.
He was working out of the windup then. Now he's got to get into that stretch after the leadoff single by Revere. The long at bat by Donaldson, the walk to Bautista, 1 swing, and the Blue Jays are right back in it.
2-1.
It's paying a lot of attention to Ben Revere.
Yeah, way too much attention at this point in the ball game. Don't worry about 90 feet. You should worry about 400 feet. Edwin Encarnacion at the plate.
60 feet 6 inches. Where you are on that pitcher's mound. That last one right there, he was completed his motion towards the plate and was actually looking back at Revere when he was trying to unload the pitch.
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times in this at bat. I thought the same thing. He never really picked up the catcher until after he started his delivery. That's going to be a base hit. Revere's going to come in to score. Bautista is headed around second. He stops there as Castillo plays it very well off the wall, and the Blue Jays are on the board. Edwin Encarnacion with his 95th RBI. And it's a 4-1 Boston lead.
And it keeps that streak going of reaching base. They'll behind, and just a hanger. I think he's lucky that this ball didn't go out of the ballpark. Line drive down the left field line, not very far down there, so Revere's going to score, and Bautista's got to stop at second base. Respecting the arm of Castillo, who plays the wall nicely. He was out here early with Arnie Baylor working on balls off of the wall this afternoon and played that one perfect.
Well, an early deficit is no problem for John Gibbons' Blue Jays. When you look at the most runs scored in the major leagues, the Blue Jays way out in front of the Yankees and the Red Sox. Colorado leads the National League with 621 runs scored, one ahead of the Diamondbacks. So runs aren't a concern for the Blue Jays. Carl Willis with a short visit to the mound to talk to Joe Kelly.
3 of those teams in the American League East, those top 3. They aren't worried about runs. They're worried about run prevention right now.
Troy Tulowitzki grounded out to second. Bautista thought about breaking, and Tulowitzki takes a strike. That time Kelly looked away from second, and Bautista took a big couple of steps toward third. Blue Jays had a double steal in the first in yesterday's game, and another double steal in the 8th.
You know, that's why I thought maybe he was paying a little too much attention to Revere. Maybe he had flashbacks of the double steals that the Blue Jays had yesterday. But being down now, they're not going to be running into outs like that.
No, I don't think so. You're right. It's a 4-1 Boston lead. I think they're going to let Tulowitzki hit in this situation. Tulowitzki is starting to really time up some of these pitches. Found that one back out of play. Encarnacion with the RBI single has now reached base in 39 straight games. That's a new Blue Jays franchise record. He was tied with Carlos Delgado. But now Encarnacion, on the heels of that 26-game hit streak, now has established a new franchise record for reaching base in 39 straight games.
Wow, what a second half it has been for Edwin. Driving in runs, hitting for a high average, coming up with clutch hits.
Tulowitzki behind 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Joe Kelly looks like a different pitcher this inning. He was breezing through the first 3 innings, gave up a single, but faced the minimum 9 batters first time through the order.
Got some help from his defense on that base hit by Josh Donaldson, but then Ben Revere opened this inning up with a single. He hasn't looked the same.
Another high pitch. All of a sudden, he's trying to muscle his way through this lineup, and that's not working.
Yeah, what did we talk about the first 3 innings? How he was taking a lot off and he was under control. He hadn't overthrown one pitch. That's about the 3rd one this inning where he just tried to reach back with all he had to try and throw it by him. What's that old saying? Try easy. That's the best time to do it right now. Trust it. Trust that you can try easy and make a pitch.
Well, he's taken a long time to get the signs from Hannigan, and now Hannigan is going to go out to the mound. Trying to get their heads together to get out of this jam. It's a 3-2 count on Tulowitzki. Encarnacion's at first, Bautista's at second. A run in. Ground ball. Sandoval at third, goes to second, and that's all they're going to get. Encarnacion makes sure Pedroia didn't have a shot at a return throw to first. Encarnacion's out on the fielder's choice, 5-4. Bautista moves up.
And he took a little something off that pitch and got him out in front. Bautista does the right thing and just stopping right there, avoiding the tag of Pablo Sandoval. Got to make a split-second decision if you're Sandoval. What should I do with the ball? Should I try and tag him and go to first base? And he elects to get the out in the middle of the diamond.
Chris Colabella was a strikeout victim his first time up. Colabella with 50 RBIs. He's hit over 400 in his last 21 games. Ball in the dirt. Colabella's had a knack for getting big hits for the Blue Jays. Get him back into games or winning games. He had a solo home run in the 12th inning earlier in the season in a scoreless ball game down in Tampa Bay to beat the Rays 1-0.
He beat his old team, Minnesota Twins, early this season with a home run in extra innings.
That was back on May 30th. Way upstairs.
I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm going to go way out on a limb here. I think it's going to be up to the bullpens tonight in this game. Neither starter has their A game right now. They are really piling up those pitches. And it's only the 4th inning. This is pitch number 70 for Kelly.
He took something off of that pitch and had Colabella out in front. Yeah, these are two of the most selective, patient lineups in the American League, and they'll make a pitcher throw a lot of pitches.
You know, the last thing you can do, I think, both of these teams, you got to execute your pitches, but you can't nibble, because neither one of these teams, they're going to swing at strikes. You start nibbling, and the next thing you know, you've pitched four innings, and your pitch counts up to 100.
Colabella gets hit by a pitch, and now I'm sure Torey Lovella is going to come out here and ask about this. The appeal, Lovella wants Field and Colbert to answer whether or not that was a foul ball. And you can see him look back in the dugout. Lovello's out to talk to the home plate umpire. Paul Schreiber is the home plate umpire, and Colabello ducking out of the way. Had a little bit of a delayed reaction. I think that's why Lovello is suspicious.
Fastball up and in, and the argument is, clearly hits him right on the hand. The argument that I think Torey Lovello is saying is, did he swing at that pitch? Because if he swung at him and it hit him, it's a strike. And that's why he wanted to get the first base umpire Field and Colbreth's thought on if he swung at that pitch, but he clearly didn't.
No, there was no attempt to swing at the pitch at all. George Poulos is out to check on the status of Colabello's hand. So he's hit by a pitch, and that loads the bases with 2 outs. Russell Martin at the plate. Martin was called out on strikes to start the 3rd. Here's your chance to get right back in this game.
Yeah, be ready on that first pitch. He's going to want to try and get ahead. Strike 1.
He crossed up Martin, threw him a breaking ball. Russell has 4 career grand slams, and he's hit over 300 with the bases loaded. A base hit right here would probably make it a 1-run game.
His strongest suit is back through the middle or to right field. That's where he has come up with so many big base hits this year for the Blue Jays.
A 1-2. Joe Kelly strikes out Martin. Blue Jays leave the bases loaded, but they get on the board. Edwin Encarnacion drives in a run. Blue Jays first run of the night. RBI number 95 for Double E.
With MLB.tv. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on more than 400 devices with MLB.tv Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and much more. Every night on every device. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Bye.
Thank you very much. Larry Davis as we head to the fourth. Boy, Blue Jays wasted their golden opportunity. They scored a run, but they left the bases loaded. First inning that Joe Kelly looked like he might give something up. Gave up a base hit to Revere to start the inning, then walked Bautista with one out. Encarnacion with the RBI base hit.
They had him up against the ropes, didn't they? And he was able to get out of there.
Sandoval, Castillo, and Hennigan for Boston. Sandoval struck out on a breaking ball in the dirt his first time up. This time he's quickly behind 0-2. Double barrel action for the Blue Jays. Ryan Tepera, the right-hander, Aaron Loup, the left-hander. Tepera was up earlier last inning. Off-speed pitch. Pulled on the ground. Colabella will step on the bag. One out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Ninth there of the season for Stephen Drew, and the Orioles take advantage of that. The pitching matchup, Ubaldo Jimenez, CC Sabathia is out of the game already. Sabathia making his first start since coming off the disabled list. He had sprained his knee. He goes 4 2/3. Sabathia throws 85 pitches in 4 2/3.
And they're in the bullpen already?
Wow. Adam Warren is in the game, and he has been rumored to be headed for the rotation. Of course, they lost Nathan Eovaldi, and they're not sure when they're going to get him back, and there's a chance he's going to miss the rest of the season. Everybody's beat up right now.
Yeah, it's September. It's where you got to clamp it on and just go out and play baseball. Blue Jays are doing that.
3-0 swinging. Castillo hits it high in the air. Pilar is there and missed it. He jumped for it, mistimed his jump a bit. And Castillo has a leadoff double. Hit a 3-0 pitch into that alley out there at 379 mark. Pilar banged into the wall, but jumped for it and went over his glove.
Looks like he banged his knee. It looked like he overran that one. He was there. He could have made that catch. It looked like he overran it. And that wall out there, there's no padding. And if there is, there's not a lot in center field. Watch him go back into that little triangle there and overran it. And then that knee hit right against the scoreboard. Reaches up, and it's going to be behind him.
Yeah, his momentum took him right past that ball. He jumped for it, and you're right, there's no padding on the Green Monster. It's a metal wall, and you could hear him bang into that. Castillo at second with a 1-out double, his 6th double. Brian Hannigan walked to start the 3rd. He was erased on a double play. Boston has a 4-1 lead as they bat in the 4th. The Yankees and the Orioles are tied at 3-3 in the Bronx. Fair ball. That's going to score Castillo from second. Hannigan slides it right inside the base, and now he's headed for second, and he'll get in there with the head first slide. Hannigan, with his 7th double of the season, knocks in Castillo. Back-to-back doubles with 1 out here in the 4th. And John Gibbons has already made the call to the bullpen. So Drew Hutchison is out of the game. He goes 3 1/3. Aaron Loup in to face Jackie Bradley Jr.
These same Red Sox at 7:07. You can connect with the Jays. It's presented by Honda. Get to the Rogers Center early, and the first 20,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays Come Together t-shirt. And it is probably most definitely sold out by now, Buck.
You would think so, Barry Davis, as the Blue Jays are winding down their season, and they're going to get things slowed down here. The Red Sox have scored a run in the bottom of the fourth. New pitcher into the game is Aaron Luke, the lefty.
Aaron pitched in this series on Monday, faced a couple of batters, gave an infield hit and hit a batter. And you got a lefty in Bradley, and then a couple of righties coming up. You got a lot of relievers that you can go to. So John Givens, I don't know if he's going to have him face more than one batter. Don't know how he's going to play it.
Well, the Tigers last night in their 8-7 win over Tampa Bay used 10 pitchers. And that's what you'll get in September. And neither one of those two clubs are in a pennant race. So you can bet the Blue Jays will use whoever they think will get him out of this situation. Luke with a good pitch jumps ahead of Jackie Bradley Jr. a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the main thing is you got to stop the bleeding right now. You can't let them score anymore. Blue Jays scratched and clawed and picked up a run in the top of the inning, and they gave it right back here in the bottom of the inning.
Luke strikes out Bradley Jr. Martin goes to first to complete the strikeout, and that's it for Luke. He gets his man, and here comes the skipper, John Givens. And this might be a steady parade of relief pitchers as Givens is trying to keep his ball club within striking distance of the Red Sox. So Luke strikes out a red-hot Jackie Bradley Jr. He gets his man. And now they'll go deeper into the play, deep into the bullpen. It'll be Liam Hendricks who has come out of the pen. Top of the order for Boston. Liam Hendricks worked here on Monday afternoon, went an inning and 2/3. This will be his 49th appearance of the season.
In his third in the last 4 games for the Blue Jays. Hey, it's all hands on deck right now, and you got to get the matchups that you are looking for. And this is the matchup that John Givens wants. The right-handed hard-throwing Liam Hendricks with his 61 strikeouts and 57 2/3 innings against Mookie Betts, who's already homered here tonight. Third at bat already in the game for Betts.
In the 4th inning. Hendricks has really improved his situation down in the bullpen. He's had a good year working out of the bullpen, and he's been rewarded with more meaningful innings, and this is certainly a meaningful appearance here.
I know he caught the eye of some of the Red Sox standing around the cage yesterday.
David Ortiz was talking about him in that Monday outing Ortiz said, man, he throws hard out of the bullpen. I remember him as a starter, and he threw that great 12-6 breaking ball.
Yeah, he doesn't remember Hendricks throwing this hard because he didn't throw this hard when he was a starter.
Gets back in the count with a breaking ball. It's 2 balls and a strike to Mookie Betts. 2 outs. Aaron Loop struck out Jackie Bradley Jr., the only batter he faced here in the 4th. Now Hendricks trying to strand the base runner. Hannigan is at second. Hendricks pitched an inning and 2/3 on Monday afternoon. Gave up a run on 3 hits. Had a couple of strikeouts. Another line drive to left field. That's going to be off the monster. Hannigan is around third. He's going to score. Mookie Betts delivers another RBI. Betts with his 35th double. They go along with his solo home run.
3rd double of the inning for the Boston Red Sox. 3-2. He threw him a breaking ball. I told you, he's not a real big guy, but he's got a very quick bat. Watch how he times that one up and bangs it off the wall. Then Revere got a little bit too close to this ball as it bounces up for extra bases. We saw Castillo with a double, Hannigan with a double, and now Mookie Betts with another extra base hit. That's 57 of them now for the season.
Dustin Pedroia singled and scored in the 3rd. He scored on the 3-run home run by David Ortiz. 6-1 Red Sox. Two balls and no strikes to the Red Sox second baseman. The Jays in winning that extra inning game last night. It's the second extra inning game they have won here at Fenway Park. They had gone 22 seasons without winning an extra inning game before their extra inning win back in June here. And now they have 2 extra inning wins. First time they've ever had 2 extra inning wins at Fenway in one season.
So Martin helped them win a game, I remember, here with a home run to left field. And then the big win last night. They'll have to start hitting to get back into this one.
There's a strike. It's 2-2. Sox scored 4 runs in the 3rd, all with 2 outs. They've added 2 more runs here in the 4th. Now it's a full count. Bogarts is on deck. He had a single his last time up. Boston has 6 runs on 7 hits. Blue Jays 1 run on 3 hits. Line drive to right. Bautista is there. Pedroia lines out. Red Sox scored 2 in the 4th. They've taken a 6-1 lead as we head to the 5th. Now time for A Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zaun.
Covered. Keep up to speed with everything Blue Jays. Don't miss a pitch with our in-depth live game tracker. Plus, the latest news, videos, and interviews on Canada's team. Download the new Sportsnet app today. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry Davis. We move to the 5th, 6-1 Boston. For the Blue Jay fans, they're optimistic that their team can come back. They've seen it before. A lot of fans make their way here to Fenway Park, and if you're thinking about next season, the Blue Jays will be here at Boston for a 4-game series early in April, and it's a wraparound weekend series, and the Blue Jays will be here on April 18th, Patriots Day, day of the Boston Marathon.
I saw that. I was wondering if that was going to be Patriots Day, so that's that 11 o'clock start, isn't it?
It is always an 11 o'clock start, so they can go see the marathon. There'll be a 3-game series in June 3, 4, 5, and then the final series of the season will be right here at Fenway Park. So if you want to make your plans to come down and watch the Blue Jays next season, April, June, and September. It's September 30th, October 1st, and October 2nd. Joe Kelly looked like gangbusters early in this game. He went through the lineup first time through, allowed just 1 hit, but faced the minimum. Just off the plate, down and away. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Goins. Goins lined out to right his first time up. Fly ball to left field. Castillo on the edge of the warning track. Drew Hutchison started this game. He goes 3 1/3. He's charged with 6 earned runs on 6 hits. He walked a couple and struck out 3. But everything caved in on him in the 3rd inning. After 2 were out, he got a double play off the bat of Jackie Bradley Jr. Then fell behind Mookie Betts 3-0. Betts would eventually hit a home run. And then 3 batters later, David Ortiz hit a 3-run home run.
2 home runs and 3 1/3, 81 pitches, 52 strikes for Hutch. ERA now at 5.33. And now it's up to the offense to see if they can come back against the Boston Red Sox. I'm not sure Joe Kelly's going to pitch past the 5th inning.
Doesn't look like it, does it?
No.
And last night, the Red Sox used their bullpen and finally ran out of arms.
Torey Lovullo's got 12 relievers he can work with in the ball game tonight. 12.
No balls and 2 strikes to Pilar. Shoots it down the right side, but that's going to slice just wide of the pesky pole. We mentioned Drew Hutchison gives up 6 earned runs tonight. He sets a record, and one that you don't want to be associated with. The highest single season ERA at Fenway Park, 18.62 for the season here at Fenway. Pilar fouls off a tough pitch.
He had a start back here in April on the 28th. He had a start in June here, and now the one here. 3 starts here at Fenway.
In June, he went 2 1/3, was charged with 8 earned runs. Tonight, he gives up 6. That earlier start, also a 6-run outing over 4 innings. $20 earned runs allowed in 3 starts. Off the plate outside. Ground ball backhanded by Bogaerts. Throws on the run in time. 2 down.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical expert sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Two outs, back to the top of the order for the Blue Jays. Ben Revere singled his last time up. He scored the first Blue Jay run, the only run they've had tonight. Edwin Encarnacion knocked him in. Two.
Will Kelly's good for around 110 pitches or so. That's what he did his last time out. 6 innings in that win versus Philadelphia. It took him 106 pitches to get through 6 innings. So maybe I think Torey Lovullo's going to try to figure out, do I want to get him one more chance through the middle of this lineup, or is he going to go to his bullpen next inning? Ben Revere with the single keeps this inning going.
Ben Revere, an 0-2 single on a breaking ball. Looked like Kelly just kind of guided that breaking ball. Revere was able to hit it into right field, his second hit of the night.
And if you were managing, would you let him go through this lineup if he gets through this inning?
This would be a difficult spot for him because you go one more time through the meat of this order. Josh Donaldson has a single. Steve Delabar just rejoined the ball club yesterday. Looks like he is ready to come into the game. Josh Donaldson bats with 2 outs. Joe Kelly continues to shake his arm out. Remember earlier in the game, he had an unusual reaction after a pitch. I believe it was to Ben Revere. Back in the 4th.
Yeah, like something might be bothering him, and I've been watching. He's been doing that now ever since then. Trying to shake that arm out, keeping it loose. Gets through this inning here, and he'd be in line for the win.
He has won 7 straight starts. Boy, he is really taking his time, isn't he? Like he's trying to manage his way through this inning to get 5 innings in the books.
That happened last inning after a runner got on board, slowed things down. Now he's really slowing it down. I asked a pitcher that one time, and this has no reflection on Joe Kelly. I'm not saying this because of Joe Kelly. I asked him, I said, hey, how come you take so much time in between pitches? Why do you lob the ball over to first base when a runner's on and you walk around the mound? He goes, my arm's killing me. I'm trying to make the pain go away in between pitches. I mean, that happens to guys. I mean, throwing a baseball is not a natural movement with your body. And I'm not suggesting that Joe Kelly is doing that by no means. He's still throwing very hard.
But sometimes you wonder what's going through a pitcher's mind. He's got a 5-run lead. And he's worried about Revere at first. He's throwing over there. Obviously, he's not focused on Donaldson, but
you know what it does? It puts everybody in the field asleep. Guys take their gloves off. They start getting back on their heels.
3-1.
They start slowing everything down. You can just watch the body language of all the fielders for the Red Sox. Kick at the dirt just a little bit. You see them walking around.
They lose their focus. There's no question about it. Base hit. Revere is going to make the turn. He'll stop at second as Betts gets it back very quickly. Josh Donaldson is 2 for 3. So now Bautista will step in the box with 2 aboard. Bautista has 21 career home runs here at Fenway Park. One swing of the bat, Blue Jays are right back in the ballgame.
Yeah, even though they gave up those 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, we've talked about Bautista, and he always seems to be good for at least 1 home run in a series. He hasn't hit one yet in this series. Now would be a great time.
He has the best at bat per home run ratio here at Fenway Park of any hitter. He hits a home run just about every 10 at bats here at Fenway Park. Jose has struck out and walked tonight. He has a home run against Kelly. He's now 2 for 11 against the Red Sox, a right-hander. Oh, 2. Joe Kelly has thrown 95 pitches now. He has 2 outs in the 5th.
You know, how'd you like to be Luis Rivera, where he is standing, the third base coach? You got Bautista up. He's got to get an angle for that runner. Look how close he is. And he's defenseless because he's got to keep his eye on that runner.
All the way back to the screen. The runners are going to move up.
Now that'll help Louis. He can go up and talk to that runner now at third base. Kelly overthrew that one by a mile. Fastball right back to the backstop.
The Red Sox bullpen is quiet. Bautista with a ball and 2-strike count. Now it's 2-2. 2 outs. Blue Jays trying to rally here in the 5th. They trail by 5. Blue Jays know they can come back from this deficit. It's nothing. They have seen these leads erased in a heartbeat. Full count. Edwin Encarnacion had an RBI base hit his last time up. That was last inning. Wonder if Joe Kelly's getting paid by the hour. Boy, is he taking his time.
Taking a lot of time in between pitches. I don't recall him being this slow when runners got on base.
Bautista called out on strikes. Kelly threw him a breaking ball. The Blue Jays strand 2 more here in the 5th. They'll go to the bottom of the 5th. The Red Sox holding a 6-1 lead. Innings in that last appearance. He has just rejoined the Blue Jays. He was activated and called up yesterday.
24 games for the Buffalo Bisons. Finished the year with a 3-1 record with a 124 earned run average for Buffalo. There are his numbers in 27 games for the Blue Jays. Delabar getting his first action since being recalled, and it looked like there was a little fireworks right at the end of that inning with Bautista at the plate.
Blue Jays had runners at second and third. Joe Kelly ran the full count and then threw a curveball and struck out Bautista looking. He was called out to end the inning. And then the 2 dugouts started jawing at each other. Joe Kelly looked like he was staring back at Bautista as he walked off the field, and some of the Blue Jays appeared to get upset at that, and then they started jawing back and forth from dugout to dugout. Bottom of the fifth, 6-1 Red Sox. Steve Delabar has the first pitch strike to Xander Bogaerts. Delabar for the season with the Blue Jays. This is his 28th appearance. 2-0 record. He has a save. Opponents have hit just 198 off Delabar.
Well, there's no question he's got great stuff. Big fastball, you can see at 95. He's got a splitter that can really be tough on left-handers. John Gibbons was talking about that this afternoon, talking about some of his options against left-handed batters in the last couple weeks of the season. He says Steve Delabar can get him out.
Delabar has that split finger pitch. It works very effectively. Left-handers this season have hit 114 against Delabar, 5 for 44. This is trouble. Down the left field line. It's off the monster. Revere plays it in. Here's the throw to second. It's offline. Bogaerts slides in head first with a leadoff double. Double number 29 for Bogaerts. Well, let's go back to the top half of this inning and the end of it. Watch Joe Kelly strike out Bautista. Kelly staring back at Bautista for some reason. And Encarnacion seemed to be upset by it. He stood there on the on deck. He told Bautista and wondered what that was all about. And then the dugout started hollering back and forth. And then Bautista and Donaldson had a chat about it. And the Red Sox players from their dugout, they were chirping back at the field. So Bogaerts is at second, and here's the first left-hander to face Delabar. David Ortiz homered his last time up.
He's going to get 3 straight. Ortiz, Shaw, and Sandoval, and that splitter is his go-to pitch when he needs to get those left-handers out. Careful here.
Yeah, he's going to have the green light. Now they're going to put him on.
And you should. You have to.
The crowd doesn't like it. But Delabar has to pick his fights. So he fell behind Ortiz, and they put him on with the intentional walk. Nobody out, first and second. Travis Shaw has walked and struck out. Delabar jumps ahead with a good fastball. Bounced off home plate. Tulowitzki has to go to first, and it'll be too late. Hit right off home plate. Donaldson, it was over his head. Tulowitzki was the only man that had a chance, and it was just An infield hit, and the Jays couldn't do anything about it.
Shaw had a play like this in last night's game where he hit it off the home plate, but it went to the second baseman. That ended that ninth inning, and Pennington made a good throw. I think the only play that Tulowitzki really had a shot at making was maybe at second base with Ortiz running from first base. Maybe, but his momentum was taking him away from second. So it will go as an infield hit. And just like that, the Red Sox have the bases loaded and nobody out.
Up the middle, base hit. Bogarts is in to score. Ortiz stops at third. Third hit in the inning. RBI for Sandoval, number 45.
You got the bases loaded, and you know that pitcher's got to come to you. So Sandoval doesn't waste any time. He gets that first pitch, bangs it right back through the middle. He only gets one RBI because Ortiz cannot score. John Gibbons is telling his infield, hey, we got to bring it in, and we can't give up any more runs, so the play is going to be at the plate.
7-1 Boston. Rusney Castillo doubled his last time up. Little tapper out in front of home. Russell will go back to step on the plate. So they get a force out at home. Little swinging bunt. Bases are loaded. One out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Bob Jimenez still in the ball game. He's allowed 3 runs on 4 hits. Hasn't walked a batter and struck out 8. He gave up the home run to Beltran, but he has settled down. CC Sabathia started, went 4 2/3. Adam Warren goes 2 2/3, and the Orioles have a 4-3 lead as they bat top of the 8th.
Oh, that one got Russell right there, right on that exposed right throwing hand arm.
Yeah, he's going to go out and just take a slow walk to the mound to try to get the feeling back in that hand.
I don't know if it got him in the hand or the arm. This will tell right here. Slider, and watch, it goes right off the end of the bat. Oh, off the glove and then off his finger.
Right off the top of that thumb. You try to keep it out of harm's way and keep it down by your side, and the only thing you can do as a catcher is keep your hand as relaxed as possible. And I used to make sure I set my thumb inside my index finger, so if you did get hit like that, there was nothing rigid that you would really risk the chance of a broken bone. Fortunately, you just kind of relax and let that hand just crumble under the pressure getting hit. And
that's
hope
the
it doesn't
last
break
thing
down.
the Blue Jays need right now. Oh, no. Jeez. Oh.
It's not funny. And Russell, he's taken a beating in this series, and that one hit his mask, and it pops right off that helmet.
We saw him get hit a couple of times on the collarbone area, then off the thumb, back-to-back pitches, and that one straight off the mask.
Brian Hannigan, the catcher, behind 0-2. That's a fly ball deep to left field. That's going to be off the monster. 1 run is in. Sandoval coming toward the plate. He's going to score. Shaw and Sandoval score. Hannigan drives in 2.
Ryan Hannigan came into this game a .255 hitter with 2 home runs and 12 RBIs for the season. He has been on base 3 times, a walk, a double, and then he sends this ball high off the wall in left field. I thought Ben Revere had a shot to get him at second base, but his throw is nowhere near a bag. Plays it nicely off the wall. He has a shot at second base, but the throw comes back in, and it's halfway between second and third. And Hannigan is at second now.
Pair of doubles for Hannigan. He's driven in 3. Jackie Bradley Jr., the number 9 hitter. Castillo's at third. Hannigan's at second. The infield drawn in. 9-1 Boston. Jeff Francis starts to loosen up for the Blue Jays. John Gibbons looking at his lineup card, trying to figure out where to turn to.
Told you that these Red Sox, they've been hot swinging the bat. As a team, that's what was so impressive about last night from R.A. Dickey. 6 innings, he only gave up 1 run. The bullpen didn't give up a hit. These guys have been on a nice roll.
Coming into this game, the Red Sox have scored the second most runs since August 1st behind the Blue Jays. Coming into this game, they had scored 204. The Jays had scored 206 since August 1st.
Yeah, since that, they lead in runs per game. They're averaging 6 runs a game since July the 30th.
Well, we mentioned that Joe Kelly has won his last 7 starts. They've averaged over 9 runs a game when he starts. They're there now. Two and two. Nice block by Martin. Full count. Mookie Betts has homered and had an RBI double. That'll load the bases. So John Gibbons has to go to the bullpen again. Steve Delabar retires just 1 batter. Gives up 4 hits and walks a batter. Jeff Francis will come in to face the leadoff man, Mookie Betts.
Two-day countdown to the last home game. Share your passion with hashtag 22 Days Blue Jays and let the celebration begin. Well, a lot of sad faces on the Blue Jays fans here at Fenway Park tonight, but you can't really blame them. This has been a very long, very painful game for Jays fans to watch.
Boy, it sure is. Red Sox have a 9-1 lead. The Blue Jays have been out hit 11-5. Jeff Francis into the game to face Mookie Betts, who's the 8th Red Sox batter to hit here in the 5th. Bases are loaded. 1 out.
Jeff Francis has pitched in this series 1 time, the 2nd time he's been in there. 10 games this year, 1 and 2, 707 earned run average. Gave up a home run the other day to Travis Shaw. These kind of games right here, someone's going to have to pitch their way through it and take one for the team.
You never want to concede a ball game, but there are times when you think, okay, well, it's 9-1. We're looking at a 4-game series. I got to keep my bullpen as intact as possible.
I'll go one further than that, not just the bullpen. I think the guys who have been playing every inning of every game, if you decide, and I've talked to Gibby about that, and I've asked him what his thoughts were. You can see him going over with DeMarlo Hill, his thoughts about that. He goes, well, sometimes you take the regulars out and bring guys in, and it sparks the team.
Yeah, and you can see they were looking at the lineup card. DeMarlo Hale looking at the lineup card. They're trying to figure out, okay, we've got all these bench players now. We got to figure out how to get Tulowitzki off his feet. They have Pennington,
Donaldson, Bautista,
Kawasaki, and Pennington, the infielders. Tulowitzki, Goins back to first, not in time. Mookie Betts outruns a return throw. He picks up his 3rd RBI of the game on the fielder's choice.
That's what he can do. He can just outrun the baseball. That is a tailor-made double play for most people, but from the right side, he's pretty fast down that line. That keeps the inning going.
Castillo comes in to score the 10th run of the night. Betts with a 3 RBI night. He now has 70 for the season. 2 outs. Dustin Pedroia, the 9th Red Sox batter to hit here in the 5th. Torey Lovullo checking with Sandoval, who has been out of the lineup a couple days recently. Probably talking about the same thing. Bounced in the dirt, and Betts advances to second on the wild pitch. Well, you mentioned trying to figure out how you can best use your bench players to get some of the regulars some time off. You've got Kawasaki and Pennington, who could replace Donaldson and Tulowitzki. Got Carrera could play in the outfield.
Dalton Pompey can play center field. Kevin Pillar has played pretty much every inning this season.
Pedroia strikes out. Francis comes in and gets 2 outs. The Red Sox send 9 men to the plate in the 5th and have taken a 10-1 lead.
160 Canadian high school amateur baseball players with college eligibility. It's Tournament 12 presented by New Era and Blue Jays Baseball Academy. For tickets, you can visit bluejays.com/T12. And tonight, we honor some of the members of the Futures team, including Noah Naylor, Connor Angel, Rice Craddy, Dondre Bremer, and Garner Spaljeric, whose name sounds very familiar because it's the son of former Blue Jay pitcher Paul Spaljeric. Buck?
That's a great opportunity for those young players to put their skills on display. We go to the 6th. Boston has a 10-1 lead for Joe Kelly. Devin Marrero takes over at third base. Pablo Sandoval is out of the game. And when Encarnacion had an RBI single in the 4th.
Probably going to be on a short leash here in this inning as you see some action already in the bullpen.
Gene Machie is up. He pitched in the game yesterday. There's a drive. This is going to be a fair ball off the wall. Castillo plays it on one hop to hold Encarnacion to a long single, his second hit of the night.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical expert sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop. Ground ball up the middle. Bogarts flips to Pedroia, back to first, double play. The Red Sox have turned 7 double plays in the 3-game series. Bogarts has really stepped up his game at shortstop.
Brian Butterfield says it's the most improved player that he has seen in all his years in baseball from one year to the next. He is fluid. He moves nice. He's got soft hands. Nice feed to Pedroia, who finishes it off with a strong throw. 7 double plays that they have turned in the 3 games so far.
Chris Colabello. Oh, and 2. Now it's 1 and 2. Colabello has struck out and was hit by a pitch. Almost walked into another one.
Pulled those hands in just in time, didn't he? He'll guess on certain pitches. He'll guess location. That time it looked like he was guessing that it was going to be a breaking ball away. And Joe Kelly crossed him up, threw a fastball inside. There's the breaking ball away.
Full count to Colabello. So Colabello takes ball 4. And Torey Lovullo quickly out of the Red Sox dugout. He makes the call to the bullpen. Joe Kelly gets 2 outs in the 6th. He goes 5 2/3. He's in line for his 8th straight win. And again, the Red Sox score him a lot of runs. He'll leave with a 10-1 lead.
Stories that matter. Sportsnet.ca is the home for everything Blue Jays, and Shai Davidi working very hard tonight. I imagine he has a lot of interesting things to write in what has become, well, a very out-of-control ball game here at Fenway Park, and it's only, what, 3 hours old, Buck?
10-1. We are in the 6th inning, 2 outs, and another pitching change. This is Gene Mushy. He pitched in the game last night. Worked in a clean inning, came in with 1 out in the 6th.
Got a double play ball and then retired a Pennington on a nice play for his 1 inning. He's had 6 career saves, 4 of them this year. And an excellent splitter. And he will face Russell Martin here with 2 outs in the 6th.
Russell has been called out on strikes twice tonight. 0 for 2.
Have to stay on that ball when they pitch that thing away like that. Looks like Russell's pulling off of it just a little bit.
Martin with just 10 hits in his last 20 games coming into this ball game tonight. Checks his swing, didn't go around. Two and two, 2 outs. Hannigan's glove, and Colabella will move to second. Now it's a full count. The Blue Jays will open up a 4-game series tomorrow night in New York. David Price at 14-5 will go up against Luis Severino, 3-2. Price is 7-11 against the Yankees for his career. That's the first of 4 games tomorrow night in the Bronx. Friday night, Marco Estrada and Ivan Nova. And then Saturday, Marcus Stroman will go up against Michael Pineda. R.A. Dickey will wrap it up against Masahiro Tanaka on Sunday. That's the 4-game pitching matchup for the upcoming Yankees series. Bouncing ball. Machi gets off the mound, throws to first in time. The inning is over. Here we go to the bottom of the 6th. Boston with a 10-1 lead over the Jays. Take over for Russell Martin. Munenori Kawasaki comes in to play second base. Matt Haig replaces Josh Donaldson at third. Goins moves from second to short. Tulowitzki's out of the game. In left field, Cliff Pennington takes over for Ben Revere. Dalton Pompey is in center for Kevin Pillar. And Ezequiel Carrera takes over for Bautista. Wholesale changes here in the bottom of the 6th.
It's like a spring training game. Once you get into the 6th inning, the regulars are out. You get the bench players in. And this is the right move. It's been hot here in Boston over the last 3 days. The guys have been playing every inning of every game. Every game has been tight, and it's been close, and it's been pressure-packed. As you see the home plate umpire, Paul Schreiber, going over with the manager of the Boston Red Sox, that's Torey Lovullo, to make sure everybody's in the game and in the right spots in the batting order. But it's been hot here. They've been playing. You get them out in this game right here. You give them a blow, and you have them get ready for tomorrow night, because that might be the season, that 4-game series with the Yankees.
Certainly it gives them off their feet, and obviously nobody wants to concede a ball game, but it's 11-1. You got bigger fish to fry. 10-1. I said 11-1. It's 10-1. Jeff Francis struck out Dustin Pedroia to end the 5th. This is Xander Bogaerts. Red Sox sent 9 men to the plate in the 5th and scored 4 runs. That's going to reach the seats out of play.
Well, it takes a little pressure off the guys. You know, you're right. You never want to concede anything, but there are times where you got to pull the guys just to give them a blow.
Absolutely, and they play every day, every inning. John Gibbons has been reluctant to get him out of the game. The Blue Jays are guaranteed of going into New York with the lead. in the AL East. There's a drive to left. Pennington is going to make the catch right in front of the wall. One out. Drive the Game presented by the all-new 2016 Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Third inning, a couple of runners on base. David Ortiz is looking for one pitch out over the plate, and he gets it from Drew Hutchison. Hammers this ball to the biggest part of the ballpark over the 420 sign in center field. That's home run number 400 in '98 in his illustrious Hall of Fame type of career. And it's also our drive of the game, and this might be another one.
Pompey's got room. He's in that triangle out there in deep center field, and Ortiz flies up. So Jeff Francis with 2 outs now will work to the left-hander. First baseman Travis Shaw. If you're wondering about Cliff Pennington in left, he's actually made 3 starts in left in his career. All this season for Arizona. This is his 6th game in left. So he's not a total stranger out there. He's a natural shortstop, so he's playing on the same side of the field.
He's a good athlete. And we talked about it. He's going to get some instruction here from Tim Leeper on where to play, how to play these hitters in the short left field. But he can go out there and play. He's a good athlete. I tell you, I was in that situation too as a bench player, and you love getting into games like this, getting a chance as that ball is fouled. Show what you can do.
Well, absolutely, and you get an extra at bat here or there. You never know how it might impact the next 4-game series. And some of these guys haven't played at all. Matt Haig was the International League Player of the Year for the AAA Buffalo Bison, so chances are he's going to get an at bat or two. Dalton Pompey back up. He started the season with the Blue Jays. They all get a chance to play a little bit. And for them, yeah, it's an opportunity to get on the field again.
Play, maybe do something. You know, you don't want to come up here and just be a spectator for a month. You want to get out there and get into a ball game.
There's another broken bat. One hopper to third. Haig handcuffs Colabello, but he makes a nice play, digs it out of the dirt. Jeff Francis retires a side in order in the 6th. We'll go to the 7th.
Club in Toronto. It is the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum fundraising luncheon. You can enjoy time with Roberto Alomar, George Bell, Dwayne Ward, DeJuan White, and many more for a baseball discussion and luncheon in support of the Canada Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Don't miss this fantastic opportunity to chat about the state of the game with so many baseball legends. For tickets, go to baseballhalloffame.ca. Buck, with all these young AAA guys in the lineup, wouldn't it be cool if they found a way to claw back into this game? That would be something, wouldn't it?
It would be a terrific boost for them and the ball club. They are trailing by 9, and stranger things have happened, especially in this ballpark. So it'll be Goins then Pompey. We're in the 7th inning. Brian Goins, he's 0 for 2. Blue Jays have a run on 6 hits. That's been it.
Threatened a couple of innings against Joe Kelly. Couldn't come up with a big base hit. They left the bases loaded in the 4th inning and then 2 more in the 5th inning. And wouldn't you know it, those were the 2 innings that the Red Sox really blew this game open.
And Blue Jays had a chance to get right back in it in that 4th inning. Bases loaded. Russell Martin struck out after Colabello got hit by a pitch to load the bases. Tommy Lane, the left-hander, starting to loosen up. Lane worked just 1/3 of an inning yesterday. He came in and walked Russell Martin as a pinch hitter, and then got smoked the line out to left field. Also smoked as a pinch hitter. Goins called out on strikes. One out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Ubaldo Jimenez goes 7 innings, gives up 3 runs on 4 hits. Darren O'Day worked a clean inning in the 8th, and now they're going to the 9th. Pompey pops it up near the mound. First baseman Shaw comes in there. Pompey pops out.
Swing for the fences and save during the DIY expert sale. Only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center.
Cliff Pennington will get his first at bat. He came in defensively, taking over for Ben Revere. Pennington started at second base yesterday, went 0 for 5 in that game. Ball and a strike to Pennington. Pulled on the ground. Pedroia to his left on the edge of the grass. Clean inning for Machi. He's out of the 7th. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th.
analysis, and post-game interviews. Catch Blue Jays Rewind, part of the morning highlights on Sportsnet 360. Buck, I could go for a little booster juice tonight. This has been a long night.
It has been a long night, that's for sure. And just imagine if you were out there playing, Mary. These are the kind of games that you just really have to focus and concentrate and get through them. And I think John Gibbons did a good job of getting the regulars out of this ball game.
Get them out, get them off their feet. Shower up. I mean, that clubhouse here, it's small to begin with here in Fenway Park, and it's crowded with all the September call-ups.
Devin Marrero gets his first at bat, and he pops out to Pompey in center. Marrero took over defensively for Pablo Sandoval. Base hit. Rusney Castillo strokes the first pitch into left field. His second hit of the afternoon. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Castillo's had a good night. He's 2 for 4. He's scored 2 runs already.
So is the guy coming up to the plate right here, Ryan Hannigan. He's had a big night for the Red Sox.
Pair of doubles. He's driven in 3 and scored a run. Got another hit. Guerrero comes up throwing, and Goins will cut it off. Ryan Hannigan with a 3-hit game. He's been on base all 4 times.
Came in here with 12 RBIs on the season. He's had a couple of doubles and a single, and he's now driven in 3 runs tonight.
The Red Sox have 10 runs on 13 hits, and their hottest hitter doesn't have a hit. Jackie Bradley Jr. is 0 for 2 with a walk. Ground ball. Kawasaki to second for 1. Back to first. What a double play. Munenori Kawasaki went to his left, gave Goins a good feed, and they complete the double play. That gets Francis out of the bottom of the 7th. We'll go to the 8th. 10-1. Boston.
It's where you can vote for today's play of the game. You can do that today and every day after the game, only on sportsnet.ca. There's my pick so far, the Minonori Kawasaki double play. I think he may have a home run in him tonight too, Buck. He did show me his muscles the other day, and he's ready to go deep here at Fenway.
Well, if he does, it's going to have to be against the left-hander. Craig Breslow comes in to make his 41st appearance of the season.
He'll get his first shot as he's the leadoff batter. Breslow, the veteran, has been in 40 games this year, hasn't won yet. He's been their long man out of the bullpen. And you can see the numbers right there. Lefty's hitting .301 against Breslow, fastball, breaking ball type of pitcher. He will face Kawasaki, Carrera, and Encarnacion unless they go to the bench and have a pinch hitter. It looks like they are.
Looks like Smoke's got a bat, top step of the dugout. Justin Smoke will bat for Encarnacion. So Munenori Kawasaki will get his first at bat since coming back from AAA Buffalo. He started a nice double play to end that inning.
I'm with Barry on that one. That's the play of the game right there. I didn't think they had a shot at all against Jackie Bradley. They turned that nicely.
For the season, Kawasaki has just 18 at bats with the Blue Jays. He's 3 for 18. Hasn't had an at bat since the 7th of August. Actually came into that game as a defensive replacement. Did not get an at bat. Last at bat he went 0 for 3 against Kansas City on the 1st of August.
Tell you, his son looks like he might be a ball player, huh?
He was cute when he in the lobby the other evening after the Monday afternoon game. He was swinging a wiffle ball bat, having a good time in the lobby.
Just taking over the lobby. He was raking. Mooney was throwing him BP. What is he, 3?
Yeah.
3 years old, something like that? Cute.
1-2 to Kawasaki. Munenori has spent parts of 3 seasons with the Blue Jays. This is his 4th major league season. He spent some time with Seattle in 2012. Munenori is now 34 years old. He was a star player in Japan. He played in Fukuoka in Japan for the SoftBank Hawks. Spent 11 seasons in the Japanese professional league.
There, his numbers, 253 games in his big league career. He's going to grind it out. It's a tough left-hander.
In Japan, over those 11 seasons, he was an everyday shortstop, and he hit .294 over his 11 seasons. He works the count to full. Ezequiel Carrera, he's on deck. That's going to be into the seats. Ground ball up the middle, base hit for Kawasaki. A leadoff single here in the 8th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. So as we speak, the Blue Jays have a 2-game lead over the Yankees. So they're guaranteed going into that series tomorrow to have a 1.5 game lead over New York.
Huge series. How about the other New York team?
The Mets.
You see what they did tonight?
Again tonight they came back.
Steven Strasburg was dealing. He ended up with 13 strikeouts pitching into the 8th inning and then fell apart. 2-1, he gave up a home run to Kelly Johnson. And then a 2-run home run by Drew Storen against Cespedes. And they lost again to the Mets.
They came back from a 6-run deficit in last night's game. Kirk Neuenhuis pinch hit home run. And that was one of the best comebacks the Mets have had in several seasons.
They now lead the Washington Nationals by 7 games.
Yeah.
7 games.
Washington needed to make a statement in that one, and they didn't.
They came into that series 4 games back. It looked like they were going to win game 1, lost it. Looked like they were going to win game 2, lost it. Had their ace going tonight who was dealing, and they couldn't beat him.
And that's a situation where they tinkered with the setup of that team and brought in Jonathan Papelbon. Drew Storen was lights out as their closer. They bumped him out of the closer's role. And the team seemed to fall apart after that.
And wouldn't you know it, Storen tonight, 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run.
Ground ball. Pedroia will go to first to retire Carrera. He takes the out at first. Kawasaki goes to second.
But isn't it going to be interesting if the Mets, the last couple of weeks, they start shutting down some of these young pitchers because they're hitting innings limits and they get into the playoffs? What are they going to do?
Now, the Mets have addressed the Harvey situation, so he's going to make at least 2 more starts in the regular season and pitch in the postseason. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no hard and fast proof of an innings count. I mean, you're not going to break when you hit a certain number, that's for sure. This is Justin Smoke batting for the first time. He's pinch hitting for the DH Edwin Encarnacion. Smoke has been the Blue Jays' most effective pinch hitter. He has 6 pinch hits this season.
Thought he had another one the other night when he came off the bench. He had a rocket in the left center field. Batting right-handed. That was in last night's ball game in the 7th inning. And got robbed.
Smoke is 6 for 21 overall as a pinch hitter. He's 0 for 2 batting right-handed pinch hitting, and he's out in front of that off-speed pitch. Smoke is batting .221 for the season, 14 home runs and 46 RBIs. He's done a real nice job for the Blue Jays. He has just 240 at-bats.
That's a lot of production for so few at-bats.
Smoke strikes out. Well, obviously, the big series coming up tomorrow night. It all starts Thursday in the Bronx. The Blue Jays will take on the Yankees for 4 straight. And then after Sunday's game, they'll fly down south to Atlanta. Then an off day on Monday, take on the Braves for 3 games, and then return to Rogers Center Friday the 18th to take on the Red Sox for a 3-game series. That starts the final homestand of the regular season for the Jays. It'll be the Red Sox, the Yankees, and Tampa Bay.
And then back out on the road for the last week of the season.
Matt Haig drills it to left. Kawasaki's going to stop. Matt Haig jumped on the first pitch. He picks up a base hit.
What a year Matt Haig had for the Blue Jays for their AAA team. He has had some big league service time. And he's not waiting around. First pitch. hit sharply in the left field for a base hit.
Matt Haig led the International League in batting at .338. He had 33 doubles, 11 homers, 92 ribbies, and was the MVP of the league. Congratulations to Matt for a terrific season in AAA. Chris Colabello, he's officially 0 for 1. Had a strikeout in the second. Then he was hit by a pitch and walked.
Can't think about trying to pull the ball off of Craig Breslow. He's going to throw you that changeup. And that's where Chris has got to think about right field here.
Breslow doesn't have an overpowering fastball, so you can think about up the middle, opposite field against him, try to stay on the off-speed pitches. The win tonight, the Red Sox will even the season series at 8-8 with 3 more games remaining at Rogers Center. Full count. Haig at first will be off on the pitch. There are 2 outs. Kawasaki is at third base. High deep drive to left. Colabello has just hit a 3-run home run. For Colabello, home run number 14. That'll give him 53 RBIs.
Well, he stayed on that pitch right there. Red Sox thought they had him struck out the previous pitch. You mentioned it, Breslow, you got to think about the ball out over the plate because he doesn't throw hard. You can still react to that pitch on the inner half, and that's exactly what we got from Colabello.
First home run here at Fenway Park. He is a native of Massachusetts. That's got to be a good feeling for him.
Yeah, John Gibbons thought he was playing a hunch that he was going to come up with a big hit, have a big game for the Jays. He's been on base 3 times. One more time, change up. Right down there, go get it. You don't have to hit it that hard to get it out of here.
Josh Thole batting for the first time tonight. So the Blue Jays get a home run. They've homered now in 19 of their last 22 road games.
That was a changeup that was down, and because it was down, he was able to shorten up that swing and get it into the monster seats in left field. 14 home runs now for Colabello.
14 and 53 RBIs. Colabello with just 292 at bats.
He and Smoke, I don't know if you can combine their 2 numbers because they just haven't played every day and they're not in that straight platoon. But if you did, that's some production for a first baseman.
Yeah, it sure is. They would combine to hit 28 home runs. Colabello, we mentioned 53 RBIs. Smoke has 46. That's a heck of a year. 28 homers and 90 9 RBIs. Tolley strikes out. That ends the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 8th, 10-4. Red Sox. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.
Season, but now you and your friends can enjoy the game from the comfort of one of our party rooms located on the Acura Luxury Suite level. Your ticket includes hostess, food, and non-alcoholic beverages for only $150 each. Reserve your ticket before they're gone. Go to BlueJays.com or call 416-1635. Buck, this is a terrific offer for anybody that wants to get together with some friends and see a Blue Jays game before the end of the season. These suites are fantastic.
Well, Barry, that might be the only way you can get into the ballpark. So make sure you get a group of people together, get yourself a suite, and come out and see those great remaining games. Bo Schultz into the ballgame to pitch the 8th inning. He'll deal with the top of the Red Sox batting order.
And Bo last worked 5 days ago. That was against Baltimore. He only threw 1/3 of an inning, gave up 4 earned runs. Throws hard, but the problems he has had, he has been giving up the long ball. He's given up 3 home runs in his last 12 innings of work. And he will get the top of the order here in the 8th inning.
Bo Schultz has allowed 7 home runs in 40 in the 3rd innings pitched this year. Mookie Betts. Betts has a good night going. A 3 RBI night. He hit a ball in the 3rd inning that was ruled a double, but they went to video review and it was overturned to a home run. Then he had an RBI double in the 4th and an RBI fielder's choice in the 5th. Kawasaki right there at second to make a nice play. Munenori got a leadoff single in his only at-bat, came around to score on the Colabello home run. He and Goins turned a terrific double play to end the 7th. Now he hangs tough on a hot shot.
Yeah, 3 really nice plays by Kawasaki. That was a tough play because it was hit so hard. Did a good job of staying down on that one.
Second baseman Dustin Pedroia, 1 for 4 tonight. I mentioned Pedroia. He is a baseball rat, if you will. He loves baseball, loves to play it, loves to watch it, loves other people that play it well. He was really happy that Marcus Stroman was going to make the start on Saturday, coming back from what appeared to be a season-ending injury. He said, that is so cool. He said, I know he grew up in the New York area. Now he's going to make his first start at Yankee Stadium in the biggest series of the season.
They're both similar. Probably have been told their whole life you can't do it.
Kawasaki knocks it down. 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Certainly you don't think of Joey Votto in that fashion. He always seems to be under control. But something set him off for sure tonight.
Well, I think the Reds type of season that they're having might have something to do with that frustration. It's been awful in Cincinnati this summer. They've had a brutal season.
And that can affect everybody. Josh Rutledge batting for Xander Bogaerts. Ground ball, base hit through the left side. Now Rutledge has a single now. Alan Craig will bat for David Ortiz. Both managers getting their extra players some opportunities here.
You know, as a player, when you sit on the bench like that, what do you say? I can't get in a 10-4 game. When am I ever going to get in? So, right?
Isn't that the truth?
Perfect opportunity to empty the bench right here, get everybody some playing time, get them in that bat.
Craig, we mentioned, along with Joe Kelly, came over from the Cardinals last July 31st. John Lackey went the other direction from Boston to St. Louis, and Craig was a terrific hitter in the National League for the Cardinals and never really got comfortable here in the American League with the Red Sox. He spent most of the season in AAA.
I remember seeing him with the Cardinals. He had a great right field stroke. Would hit for a high average, but for some reason he has just lost that.
One and two, bottom of the 8th. There's that stroke you were talking about. He always has favored the right side of the diamond.
When he was with the Cardinals, I remember doing a series when the St. Louis Ball Club came to Toronto at the Rogers Center. He must have had 5 or 6 hits, and they all were right field. I mean, bullets to the gap in right center field. Thought that would have played perfectly here at Fenway, but it hasn't worked out.
Bo Schultz strikes him out. Craig strikes out. That ends the bottom of the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. Blue Jays trail by 6. pitcher to start the ninth inning as Heath Hembree making his 11th appearance for Boston. Takes over after Craig Breslow gave up a 3-run home run in his inning of work.
This is some mop-up work right here for Hembree. Just 10 games this year for the Boston Red Sox. He's been up and down a couple of times this year. He has only thrown 15 innings for the Red Sox. Other defensive changes. That is Jeff Rutledge, who pinch hit for Dustin Pedroia. He stays in at second base. Evan Marrero slides over from third to shortstop for Xander Bogaerts. And into the ball game, Brock Holt to finish up this one at third base.
So everybody making changes now. Holt takes over defensively at third base. The Blue Jays trail 10-4. It'll be Goins, Pompey, and then back to the top of the order, Cliff Pennington. Unless the Blue Jays mount a historic comeback here in the ninth, Jays will lose 2 of 3 to Boston. But the Yankees lost 2 of 3 to the Orioles, and Blue Jays will begin the 4-game series in New York tomorrow night, a game and a half ahead.
Do not lose any ground to the Yankees.
You know, there's been so much talk about scoreboard watching, and I don't care who you are as a player. Even though you're in first place, every once in a while you're going to peek up at that scoreboard. Baltimore won 5-3. Okay, this one stings, but not quite as much.
Still a little bit too early, I think, for me to be, scoreboard watching to see what the other team does.
Yeah, you get down to the final 10 days. That's when you can really watch. That's Blue Jays are going to control their own fate. There's no question. They have the people they need to play. 7 games against the Yankees. 4 coming up, starting tomorrow night. Ground ball. Rutledge has it. 1 out. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Sportsnet Central. Here's Brendan Dunlop and Ivanka Osmak. Thank you very much, Brendan. And that's coming up right after this ball game. And I saw Joey Votto in his tirade, and I tell you what, I'm anxious to see what set him off, because he is an even-keeled guy, and he really lost it tonight. Dalton Pompey popped out to the first baseman, his only at bat back in the 7th. Ball on a strike. Pompey, just 22 years old. Of course, he's from Mississauga. Started out with the Blue Jays, went back down to Buffalo, eventually ended up in New Hampshire for a while, finished up the season in Buffalo. This is 26th game for the Blue Jays at 193 to start the season with the Blue Jays. Overall in Buffalo, he had 285. In Double-A New Hampshire in 31 games at 351. So it's about adjustments.
Yeah, it's about adjustments. It's about knowing yourself and finding something that works for you and then sticking with it. I think the most important thing for young players, they got to play. They got to go out there. They got to play year round.
This is popped up. Brock Holt into foul ground is there, and Pompey is retired on the pop out.
You got to play instructional league. You got to play winter ball. You got to go play out in the Arizona Fall League, wherever it is. Just keep playing the game of baseball, and pretty soon, the more you do that, it starts to click in, and the game starts to slow down for you.
Cliff Pennington grounded out to second base in his only time up. David Price will go to the mound to open things up for the Blue Jays in New York. He'll be opposed by the rookie Luis Severino. Price for his career 11-7 against the Yankees. The Blue Jays beat Severino earlier in the season.
This is an easy one to forget if you ask me.
Absolutely. Just put it behind you.
Flush it. Would have been a little bit tougher, you know, if you ended up losing on a 3-run home run, something like that in the bottom of the 9th inning. So you flush this one and you get ready for tomorrow.
Estrada will go on Friday, Stroman on Saturday, R.A. Dickey on Sunday. So it'll be Price, Estrada, Stroman, and Dickey in the 4-game series for the Yankees. Against the Yankees, it'll be Severino, Nova, Pineda, and Tanaka for New York in that series. It's a high fly ball to right. This should do it. Jackie Bradley Jr. is there. That's the ball game. The Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 10-4. 14 hits and 10 runs. And the Red Sox win the series 2-1.
Well, we talked about it. You just get rid of this one quickly. You get your mind on the Yankees now. This is the series everybody been talking about.